Hello everyone, today we are going to learn Class 6 Social Science Gujarat State Board Book Chapter 1 Let's Know the History. Before that, we will go to the index. There are total 17 lessons in new book Class 6 1 to 8 from History, 9 to 14 from Geography and 15 to 17 from Civics. So let's begin with first lesson. Let's know the history. In your curriculum of Standard 6th, we will know about an interesting subject of social science, which is an interesting subject. Social science gives us information about social world of man, like a geographical condition, economics, social condition of societies, institutions, political activities and organizations. Subjects other than history introduce us with social life of present. If we'll go to the other subject, so the all subjects will tells us about the present time of a social life, but history gives us information about the past of a human society with the help of which we know our present. It is possible for us to know about social life of a present time without having knowledge of a past. It's not possible. How was man's life when he had not started using fire? So how it was? Imagine how must have been life of a people without agriculture, without roads, without transportation, without houses, etc. Just we have to imagine in the beginning, in the prehistoric period, the peoples that did not use agriculture, that did not use the roads for transportation service and houses. History gives us information regarding all such aspect. So it will give information to us about agriculture, about roads, about transportation system, houses, societies, etc. History takes us to a different world of a past. It gives us information about customs and traditions, belief, diet and dresses of people of different generations. We feel as if we are wandering in some other world. So if we'll go to the past, we'll see about the tradition, about the belief, about the diet, about the dress of people. So just will feel that we are wandering in some other world, because which was different from today's societies. You must be thinking, why should we study about human society of the past? Related with matters of past, but also acts as a oracle with current system. So history is not only tells us about the past, but it is connected with the current system. It may be the political system, social condition, whatever. What were our ancestors? What kind of life lived by our ancestor? Where did they live? Is there houses like today? What did they eat? History gives us information about many such matters. It informs us about changes that have occurred in human life. So let's see tools and resources to know history. So what are the tools? With the help of what all tools, what all things we can know history. So here one story given. Let's see. Chintan read in a newspaper a 400 years old city has been discovered in Kutch of Gujarat. He was surprised. How can we know that this city is 4000 years old? Who might have built it and how? What was the diet of people there? What type of clothes they must have been wearing? So Chintan, he read the newspaper. In newspaper he read that a 4000 years old city which was discovered in Kutch of Gujarat. So he was surprised how the peoples they comes to know that the city which was exact 4000 years old, what kind of uh, food the peoples they ate, what kind of clothes they wearing. How can we know history? We have different tools to know history. So it's with the help of different tools we comes to know about the history. So we'll see one by one. The first one is a Tadpatra and Bhojpatra, palm leaves and birch bark. In the ancient time, men used palm leaves and birch bark for writing what we call manuscript today. Today we are using paper. Same way in the ancient period or in history in the past, the peoples they used palm leaves and birch bark for a writing, which is now known as a manuscript. Tadpatra means manuscripts written on leaves of palm leaves. Bhojpatra means manuscripts written on birch bark which is found in the Himalayas. So we can get the meaning of both Tadpatra and Bhojpatra here. With the help of manuscripts written on palm leaves and bark of birch, we get information about their languages and lifestyle. Many such manuscripts have been found. Manuscripts written on palm leaves and bark of birch gives us information about men of ancient India. So, if we'll go to the study about Tadpatra and Bhojpatra, so we can get information about the peoples of ancient India. Such manuscripts have been preserved in the temples and monasteries. So some whatever the manuscripts which were founded, so which can be preserved in temples and monasteries. They have text in Sanskrit, Prakrit and Tamil. So today we are using English, Hindi, Gujarati. So likewise during the ancient period, the people they used Sanskrit, Prakrit and Tamil language. Even poems, dramas, stories and epics were also written on Tadpatra and Bhojpatra. They have also been preserved in the form of books. So this all birch bark and palm leaves which preserved as a book, they gives us knowledge about customs and traditions, social beliefs, lifestyle of kings, science, education, medicines, animals, etc. Which means with the help of birch bark and palm leaves, we can gain knowledge of social condition during the past, social beliefs, lifestyle of a people, science, education, medicines, animals, agriculture, etc. The next one is inscriptions. Articles which are carved on the metals and stones are called stone inscriptions. So, what is the stone inscriptions that is written here? The articles. Articles means what? The written things which are carved on the metal and stone, which is known as stone inscriptions. We can know about history from stone inscriptions. Many times inscriptions were done on metal also. Kings used to conserve with people by carving his orders and commands on these rocks. So during that time period, during the past, the peoples or the kings that did not use paper, computer, like this type of modern days tools. So at that time, just they used metals and stones and they carved on that to store the information, whatever they want to preserve. Many kings and queens have inscribed information about their kingdom, victories, religion, and culture on these stones. Stone inscriptions of Ashoka are very famous. Records and inscriptions written on these are long lasting. Okay, so whatever the records which was recorded on these inscriptions which was long lasting, which cannot destroyed easily. So in the picture 1.1 we can see the image of birch bark and palm leaf, and second one 1.2 we can see stone inscription of Ashoka's time at Junagadh in Gujarat. Now third one is a copper plate which is also known as a Tamrapatra. Tambra means copper and Patra means plate. The text which is engraved on copper sheet is called Tadpatra. Many kings have engraved information about their administration and donations on a Tadpatra. So, whatever the information the kings they wanted to write, so they wrote information, they engraved information about their administration and donation on a Tadpatra. Such Tadpatras have been found in Gujarat in a large number. They give us information about name, religion, administration, donation, etc. So Tadpatra or copper plate which will gives us information about name of a king, the religion, their administration, and the donation given by the kings. Such Tamrapatras have been preserved in Hemchandra Library in Patan in North Gujarat, LD Institution of Indology, Navrangpura, Ahmedabad, BJ Learning and Research Studies, Vidya Bhavan, Ahmedabad, Sri Mahavir Jain Ardhana Kendra, Koba, Gandhinagar. So, some Tamrapatra copper plates which were preserved at this all places, like Patna, LD Institution of Ideology, Navrangpura, Ahmedabad, BJ Learning and Research Studies, Vidya Bhavan, Ahmedabad, Sri Mahavir Jain Aradhana Kendra, Koba at Gandhinagar. Now next one is a coin. Coin are also an important source to know about history. We get information about name of a king, his region, culture and time from these coins. Punchmark coin of 5th BC have been found in India, which is the oldest coin. Okay, so we have to remember what is the oldest coin. So punch marked coins of 5th BC. Other than this, gold, silver, copper coins of Greek kings, Mauryan age, Gupta age have been found. They give information about their social, religious, economic and political structure of that time. So nowadays we can see 1 rupee coin, 2 rupees coin, 5 rupees coin. So on that, when the coin were issued, that information we can see, and who issued that coin, that also we can see on the coin. Same way at the in the time of history also, the king, those who issued, they engraved their uh, sign and symbol on a coin. So with the help of that we comes to know about the time period of a king or a queen at the past time. So here you can see punch marked coins. First one punch marked coin, first one are coins and second one are punch marked coins. Punch marked coins, which means the coins created by pressing a metal piece in the mold, are called punch marked coins. So here given the meaning of punch marked coins. Next one, students studying history with the help of archaeologists, historians and travelers. So archaeologist means what? Archaeologist, which is a person who study the remaining materials of the past people. History means information given by archaeologists about past of a human society on the basis of a research. They go to ancient place and dig out the houses, coins, bricks, stones, implements, sample of food. So they studied about these all things. What all things? So they studied about the houses, coins, bricks, stones, implements, sample of food, etc. Then bones of men and animals, etc., and study them and make us aware about culture of that time. So with the help of this all things, archaeologists tells us about the history, about the about that time period. Man has been wandering from one place to another since ancient times. We all know that the hunter and gatherers, they were wandering from one place to another place to search their food and shelter. Many travelers has visited other countries to note life of people there. From the travel details of such travelers, we get information about the history and culture of a country. So, with the help of this travel details, such as travelers, we can get information about history and culture of our country also. It includes travelers like Megasthenes, Pliny, Fahian, Xuanzang. So these are famous traveler who traveling our through our country. The researches of archaeologists and historians gives us a glimpse of greater civilization which flourished in the northwest region, the bank of river Indus. Okay, if we'll go to the northwest side, so one civilization which was flourished, which name is Indus Valley civilization. So the archaeologists and historians, they gives information to us about this great civilization, Indus Valley civilization. In India, many cities existed more than 4,500 years ago. In the same way, it can also be known that many cities developed on the banks of river Ganga and nearby area about 2500 years ago. All these tools gives us information about customs, food, attire, technology and culture of a people of that time period. So all these tools, what all tools? Inscriptions, coins, then the remaining materials of the ancient people. So these all things will tells us about the customs of them, food, attire, technology, culture of a people of that time. By exploring many cities and villages, they have given us information regarding cotton, barley, wheat, which are crops which were grown by the people of cities and villages at the ancient time or at that time period, at the prehistoric period. Besides this, they have also given us information about animals of that time. So they given us information even about the animals of that time period. Archaeologists Archaeologists are the scholars who study about past. They categorize the tools found, do research, collect data from manuscripts, documents, archives, and then scribe them in a religious way. So what the archaeologists, they are uh, doing a research on various tools which founded by them, like they categorize, they divide the old tools which founded by them, they do research on that and collect data from a manuscript. Archaeologists and historians bring past to life. So archaeologists and historians, they bring past to our life, they tells to us about the past, so they bring past to our life. We comes to know with the help of studies of archaeologists about the past. Now, name of the land. We know our country by two names. The first one, India and Bharat. The word India is derived from Indus, which is called Indus in Sindhu in Sanskrit. People of ancient Iran and Greece were familiar with the Indus river. So peoples, they came to India. In the beginning, the people, they settled bank of river Indus from Greece and ancient Iran. They came into contact with this region around 2600 years ago. The Iranian called the Indus River Hindus, and the people of Greece called Indus. So they this uh, this term for the people of India as Indos, which means who used Iranians. They called Indus River Hindus, and the Greece people they called this Indus River as Indus. They knew the east bank of the river as India. We know about the name Bharat from Rig Veda. A group of people named Bharat came to settle in northwestern India. It is from their name that our country came to be known as Bharat. This group is also mentioned in the early work of Sanskrit. Which one word of India? Bharat, which was mentioned in Rig Veda. Now we'll see about deadline, so which is an important tool to know the history. This is very important in a history. Without this deadline we cannot study about past. Events can be written along with time and place. We can relate time with date, month and years, such as July 20, 2018, Friday. As per it, time is associated with birth of Jesus Christ. Birth of Jesus Christ found a Christianity has been associated with a deadline. So totally this deadline which is associated with the birth of Jesus Christ. We call it Anno Domini, which means Anno Domini, which means birth of the time period after the birth of Jesus Christ, which means year after birth of Jesus Christ. Example 2000 AD, which means 2000 Anno Domini, which will comes from this birth of Jesus Christ to right side. Similarly, BC, which means before Christ. Before Christ means we have to go to the left side from birth of Jesus Christ. Now next one, deadline showing AD and BC. Often is written as CE instead of AD, and BCE is written instead of BCE. So now we have to understand the alternate word or alternate alphabets which used on the place of AD and BC. BC. CE, which means common era, while BCE means before common era. Era means time period, common means this one is will be before, means before the birth of Jesus Christ. As Christianity is associated with most nations of the world, we use the same deadline in India as in many nations. So mostly the Christianity which is associated with most nation of the world, mostly throughout the world we can see the Christianity. So because of that this timeline which in which the main point is the birth of Jesus Christ, which is the reference point on a deadline. In many cases the word BP is also used, which means before present. Know this, you has to remember this one about common era and before Christ and Anno Domini, AD, BC and AD. BC means before Christ, AD means Anno Domini. Both are Greek words which means in the year of God. For example, 2018 AD. AD means Anno Domini. Stone inscription and inscription, here given a meanings. Stone inscriptions means an inscriptions carved on a stone with the help of chisel. The next one, birch bark. Thin inner layer of tree named birch birch on which ancient texts were written. Okay, like however we are removing the birch of neem tree, so same way here, sorry, bark of a neem tree, same way here bark of a birch tree. The name birch means what? It is one tree name which we can found from Himalayan forest. Himalaya. Bark means the layer, upper layer, which is removed. Thank you for this. Thank you for watching this video.